So this just confirms my assertion of Cruz more. He was so not only was he bullied by his peers, he was also bullied by his younger brother, who was also adopted by him. So his adopted mother used to make his more popular and younger brother, who was a little bit more socially adept, to bring him along with friends. So and his younger brother used to bully him with his friends, and I'm pretty sure that caused a huge rift in him because he didn't feel like there's anybody in his life that would have taken care of him. So revealed, Florida school shooter watched his father die in a heart attack when he was just 5. Took a dead bird to school and tried to kill himself before his 18th birthday by drinking gasoline. Alright, these are just the bulletins. Alright. Let's start reading the article though. Florida school shooter Nikolas Cruz watched his adopted father die when he was just 5 years old. Was bullied relentlessly by his younger brother throughout his teens. New report revealed. New details that have emerged painting a disturbing photo of the home life in the 19-year-old who opened fire in his former classmates and teachers in Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School on February 14th. He was 2004. Cruz watched his adopted father, Roger Cruz, die of a heart attack, reported by Sun Sentinel. A year later, his disturbed yet supportive tried to kill himself by guzzling gasoline just days before he turned 18. These are just pictures of his him in his trial, and this is him and his mother. That's sad. And that's his younger brother. You can tell by the body language how he is. He's definitely more submissive. His younger brother is more domineering. Just look at his stance. He's more open, and Cruz is much more guarded. He's looking kind of down in a downwards angle. Look at him. He looks uncomfortable. He has his guard up, even around his younger brother. So he's definitely like in that state. This reminds me of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Like you need to be safe before you open yourself up to something else. So he doesn't feel safe at home. So that's probably one of the reasons that factor into him lashing out. It's unfortunate. When Nikolas Cruz was 5, he was sitting in a den with his adopted father, Roger, who reportedly had a close relationship with, but suddenly the younger ran into the kitchen crying, and the mother, Lydia, said if Roger had punched him. Nope, he said, Daddy's dead. That sucks. His home life worsened as older brother in later life, bullied by his younger brother, Zachary, whom he had a tumultuous relationship because he was socially awkward and had a hard time making friends. His mother forced Zachary to bring Nicholas along with them on his nights out. So, just imagine that for a second. You're a teenager, you got your awkward, much weirder brother, and your mother is telling you to bring him along to bring your friends. You're going to see him as a burden, and you're going to, he's going to embarrass you, and you're going to see that he's going to embarrass you in front of his friends. So, what are you going to do? You're going to try to, push him away and bully him. That's what kids do around that age. It sucks, but it's peer pressure and just how things are at that age. Kids are cruel. That sucks for him. Zachary wished he had been more nicer to his brother. Report says the young as 3-year-old Cruz was diagnosed with developmental disorders. It just confirms that he was just mentally incapable. He was a lot more mentally inferior than a lot of his peers. He was described as lost, lonely, and violent by people who knew him. Just before his 18th birthday in September 2016, Cruz had attempted to kill himself by ingesting gasoline. A peer counselor told the public safety officer assigned to the school, Scott Peterson, that Cruz had already tried to think of killing himself by drinking gasoline and had expressed interest in buying a gun. 5 days later, he reported that posting a video of himself cutting his arms with the mobile app Snapchat. So he was lost. He definitely didn't feel like he belonged anywhere. His brother didn't want him around, and it sucks. That's one of the things that factor into him doing the stuff he did. Unfortunately, it sucks. But this is something that you need to. If you want to prevent school shootings, so you're not gonna do that just by taking away guns. That's not gonna solve anything. What you need to do is you need to look at the people. Look at the school shooters. They're all socially isolated. They're following some extreme ideology, like the guy who shot Virginia Tech a couple years ago. He was mentally disturbed as well. Okay. Well, he was a student at Stoneman Douglas once seen in 2017 clutching a dead bird on his crotch during reading class. Former classmate told the Sun Sentinel. He always stared at everyone. He would stare at his soul. Tyra Hermes, a senior in high school, a survivor of the massacre, told the paper. She said he sat across from him during the first period reading class during his junior year. One day, she noticed him holding a bird in his crotch, and quickly realized it was him clutching a dead bird. That's definitely not gonna make you any friends. I looked close, and I saw he was holding a dead bird near his genitalia, Hermes said. I saw some feathers, and I knew it was a bird, and I was disturbed. But just looking away because it wasn't my business. She said she wondered if Cruz was carrying the bird around all day in his lunchbox. Hermes said she didn't tell the teacher about the dead bird incident and didn't tell her best friend, Meadow. Meadow was one of the 70 people gunned down by Cruz on Valentine's Day with the AR-15, and though she and Pollock was disturbed, Hermes said she went on to himself instead of befriending him. She said he seemed lonely, and that would lead him. He said that it seemed lonely, and they would lend their cell phones during class, so he could use it for assignments. Okay, these are the weapons that he used. This is AR-15, shoddy. That's him talking to his lawyers, and all right. On one occasion, the FBI received anonymous tips on Cruz making a bird home and cutting it down in his kitchen, and it seemed that from the outside it's clear that this is a bird Hermes and Cruz had seen Cruz carrying around with him. The new details come as it's been revealed that Wednesday afternoon that Cruz attempted to murder many more people, taking position in the third floor window that overlooked the courtyard where dozens of people ran from the school for their lives. He was reportedly trying to shoot through the window in the third floor teacher's lounge, the courtyard below, and thwarted by hurricane-resistant glasses, which are also bullet-resistant, apparently. So Cruz was booked in Broward County Jail. I don't know why, because they didn't have the guts to go in and try to arrest him, after confessing to shooting the 33 former classmates, coaches, and teachers. Other details that emerged about the shooter painted a picture of the teen who was obsessed with guns and war, someone who was widely known as a potential threat in the community. Over 10 years, his adopted mother, Lydia, had called the police over 33 times to report that he'd been physical with his brother and her. He was expelled from Stoneman Douglas and was a junior when he was a junior, and being suspended multiple times, fighting and disturbing the behavior. He was finally ejected by assaulting a teacher in 2017. Just 3 days later, he'd buy the assault rifle to carry out the massacre. So I'm pretty sure that's the thing that pushed him over the edge. There's no way, I'm not trying to condone his behavior, but a lot of these things, his bullying, his social isolation, his father dying to some extent, and to him getting expelled from high school, all those things factor into his mental state before he went shooting. What happened is, when you isolate someone that much from society, you make them vulnerable to extreme ideals. You make them want to do crazy things just to get some attention, some validation in their life. He didn't feel safe where he was. He didn't feel like he could go on. He tried to kill himself. But what you see with a lot of these school shooters, they're male, and they're not gonna get the attention by killing themselves. So what's the only thing that's gonna get them attention? It's by homicides, by mass murder, and unfortunately, that's what he resorted to. So guys, thanks a lot for listening to me. I know it's rambling a bit, and I don't know how to read, so thanks a lot for that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, And once again, thanks a lot.